President Sisi and UN Chief Guterres reaffirm rejection of Gaza displacement, stress Palestinians must remain on their land. Egypt's Foreign Minister Badr Abdel holds talks with Arab counterparts on the Palestinian issue and the humanitarian crisis in Gaza and the West Bank. Egypt's Minister of Social Solidarity Maya Morsi holds talks with UK officials on urgent Gaza aid delivery. You're watching the latest updates from Egypt on Qnews. Let's move on to the latest developments. Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres have reaffirmed their strong rejection of any attempts to evacuate or displace Gaza's residents, emphasizing the need for Palestinians to remain on their land. During a phone call, both leaders stressed the urgency of a two-state solution, calling for the establishment of a Palestinian state based on the June 4, 1967 borders, with East Jerusalem as its capital. They agreed that this should be the primary focus of the international community, as it remains the only viable path to achieving lasting peace and stability in the Middle East. Egyptian Foreign Minister Badr Abdel has held talks with his counterparts from Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Kuwait, Oman, Bahrain, Jordan, Iraq, Algeria, Tunisia, Mauritania and Sudan to discuss the latest developments in the Palestinian issue and the humanitarian crisis in Gaza and the West Bank. The discussions reaffirmed the unified Arab stance on Palestine, rejecting any attempts to displace Palestinians or encourage their relocation outside their homeland. Abdel also emphasized ongoing efforts to advance early recovery projects, debris removal and reconstruction in Gaza, stressing that Egypt remains committed to supporting the legitimate and inalienable rights of the Palestinian people. Egyptian Foreign Minister Badr Abdel has met with members of the diplomatic and consular corps of the junior and mid-level ranks. During the meeting, Abdel underscored the critical role of Egypt's diplomatic and consular staff in representing the country abroad, particularly amid ongoing regional developments and unprecedented crises facing the region. Egypt's permanent representative to the United Nations, Ambassador Osama Abdel Khalek, has reaffirmed Egypt's ongoing efforts to achieve a ceasefire in Gaza and ensure the flow of humanitarian aid, while maintaining a firm stance against the displacement of Palestinians. In a televised interview with Al Qahira News, Abdel Khalek highlighted Egypt's diplomatic success in securing 4 UN Security Council resolutions since the outbreak of the Gaza crisis on October 7th. He noted that the most recent resolution 2735, calling for a ceasefire, was passed in January during Egypt's presidency of the Arab group at the UN. Egypt's Minister of Social Solidarity, Maya Morsi, has held talks with Mark Bryson, the UK's representative for humanitarian affairs in the occupied Palestinian territories, and British Ambassador to Cairo, Gareth Bailey, to discuss the urgent delivery of aid to Gaza. The meeting focused on enhancing efforts to ensure humanitarian assistance reaches all areas of the Gaza Strip, while highlighting Egypt's key role in facilitating the delivery of relief aid to Palestinians in need. Al-Azhar al-Sharif has called for a unified Arab and Islamic stance against empty declarations aimed at denying Palestinians their legitimate right to establish their sovereign state. The statement comes in response to recent remarks by Israeli government officials regarding plans to forcibly displace Palestinians from their land. Al-Azhar stressed the importance of rejecting such measures and standing firm in support of the Palestinian cause. Egypt and Bangladesh have concluded the second round of political consultations aimed at strengthening bilateral ties across various sectors. The talks were chaired by Ambassador Ahmed Shaheen, Egypt's Assistant Foreign Minister for Asia, Australia, New Zealand, and the Pacific Islands, and Ambassador Jachim Uddin, Bangladesh's Deputy Foreign Minister. Discussions focused on enhancing cooperation in political, economic, military, and cultural fields, as well as boosting trade investment and ongoing projects. Both sides also reviewed ways to activate previously signed agreements for mutual benefits. The newly elected Speaker of the Irish Parliament, Verona Murphy, has praised Egypt's efforts in supporting the Palestinian cause and working to end the war in Gaza. During a meeting with Egypt's ambassador to Dublin, Mohammed Tharwat Salim, Murphy expressed appreciation for Egypt's vital role in promoting stability and peace in the region. Egypt's Minister of Transport and Industry, Lieutenant General Kamil al-Wazir, has met with Qatar's ambassador to Cairo, Tariq bin Ali Faraj al-Ansari, to discuss strengthening cooperation between the two countries in the transport and industry sectors. During the meeting, al-Wazir highlighted the importance of enhancing collaboration between the Egyptian and the Qatari transport ministries, particularly in the development of seaports. He noted that several Qatari companies have recently visited West Port Said port and reached a preliminary agreement with Egyptian authorities on potential investment in the port. Kazakhstan has expressed its readiness to meet Egypt's wheat and grain needs as the country looks to strengthen its agricultural partnership with Cairo. Kazakh Minister of Agriculture Aydarbek Saparov made the announcement during a meeting with Egyptian Ambassador to Kazakhstan Ibtisam Rakha. Saparov also highlighted Kazakhstan's interest in exploring cooperation on silo construction and grain storage projects, further expanding agricultural ties between the two nations. During his official visit to Turkey, Egypt's Minister of Tourism and Antiquities, Sherif Fathi, held a series of meetings to discuss ways to boost tourism to Egypt, particularly from Turkey. Fathi reviewed several proposals aimed at strengthening tourism cooperation between the two countries. These include organizing familiar trips for Turkish tour operations and investors to Egypt's key tourist destinations, as well as hosting joint tourism and cultural events to promote mutual collaboration. Egypt's Minister of Higher Education, Ayman Ashur, has confirmed that 10 new national universities are nearing completion, with studies set to begin in the next academic year, bringing the total number of national universities in Egypt to 30. Speaking at a Council of National Universities meeting, Ashur praised the success and growing role of national universities in Egypt's education system. He highlighted their strong reputation among students and parents, noting that enrollment has exceeded 60,000 students in the current academic year. Egypt's Minister of Investment and Foreign Trade, Hassan Al-Khatib, along with Minister of Finance, Ahmed Kuchuk, and Minister of Local Development, Dr. Manal Awad, held an extensive meeting to discuss enhancing the monitoring system for exports and imports. The discussions focused on reducing customs clearance times, tightening border controls, and regulating markets to improve trade efficiency. The meeting also reviewed government efforts to strengthen oversight on trade movements, ensuring consumer protection and the quality of Egyptian products in line with international standards. Officials stressed the importance of closing regulatory gaps that could impact Egypt's foreign trade. Egypt's Minister of Civil Aviation, Sameh Hifni, has met with Gabriel Smells, the head of the Airbus for Africa and the Middle East, to discuss the future of the aviation industry and ways to enhance cooperation. During the meeting, Hifni stressed the importance of adhering to delivery schedules for aircraft ordered by Egypt Air, particularly amid global challenges causing delays in aircraft manufacturing and delivery. Egypt's Minister of Electricity and Renewable Energy, Mahmoud Asmat, and Minister of Public Business Sector, Mohammed Shimi, have discussed joint efforts to advance renewable energy projects and green transition. The meeting focused on enhancing energy efficiency in factories and improving operational performance in line with Egypt's updated national energy strategy. The plan aims to generate 42% of the country's energy from renewable sources by 2030, increasing to 65% by 2040. Egypt's Cabinet Media Center has confirmed that the first phase of the National Rural Development Initiative Decent Life, or Haya Karima, has been implemented at a cost of 350 billion Egyptian pounds. In a statement on Facebook, the center announced that 1,477 villages have been developed, benefiting around 18 million citizens. Preparations are now underway for the second phase of the initiative, which aims to further improve living conditions in rural communities across Egypt. Egypt's Minister of Petroleum and Mineral Resources, Karim Badawi, has announced the launch of the 8th edition of the Egypt International Petroleum Conference and Exhibition under the patronage and presence of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. The event, set to take place from February 17 to 19, will be held under the theme Building a Secure and Sustainable Energy Future. Badawi confirmed that the President of Cyprus will participate in this year's conference, where key agreements will be signed to strengthen regional cooperation in the natural gas sector. The deals aim to leverage Egypt's infrastructure to re-export Cypriot gas, benefiting both nations and international energy companies. Egypt's Minister of Transport and Industry, Lieutenant General Kamil El-Wazir, has announced that local production of steel for shipbuilding will soon begin following the completion of procedures to establish a factory owned by an Egyptian investor. Speaking at a press conference on the sidelines of the Cairo International Yacht and Boat Show, El-Wazir also revealed that efforts are underway to finalize partnerships for a new Egyptian shipyard aimed at expanding domestic shipbuilding on a larger scale. FIFA's chief of global football development, Arsene Wenger, launched a FIFA-backed talent development project in Cairo, praising Egypt's fertile environment for football. Speaking at the Egyptian Football Association, EFA, Wenger established the initiative's role in enhancing coaching quality and nurturing young talents. The project aligns with FIFA's vision of fostering global football excellence and strengthening Egypt's football infrastructure through long-term development strategies. The first football team of Zamalek is preparing to face its counterpart Al Ismaili in the upcoming round of the Egyptian Premier League. The Egyptian Football Association announced that the Zamalek versus Ismaili match will be held at 7 p.m. today at Salam Stadium as part of the 12th round of the Egyptian Premier League. Meanwhile, Al Ahly regained the top spot in the league after securing an important 2-1 victory over Petrojet in their match on Thursday evening at Salam Stadium as part of the 12th round of the Egyptian Premier League. Imam Ashur and Gradichar scored for Al Ahly in the 15th and 66th minutes, while Petrojet's only goal came in the final moments of stoppage time, scored by Ahmed Farouk. The General Authority for Meteorology experts expects tomorrow's weather to be moderate during the day in Greater Cairo and northern Upper Egypt, with a slight chill on the northern coast and the Nile Delta. It will be very cold at night and early in the morning in most areas. The authority also forecasts morning fog on some agricultural and main roads, as well as roads close to water bodies leading to and from Greater Cairo, the Nile Delta, northern coast, canal cities, central Sinai, and northern Upper Egypt. And that brings us to the end of our news bulletin. Here is what we have been covering. President Sisi and UN Chief Guterres reaffirm rejection of Gaza displacement, stress Palestinians must remain in their land. Egypt's Foreign Minister Badr Abdel Ati holds talks with Arab counterparts on the Palestinian issue and the humanitarian crisis in Gaza and the West Bank. Egypt's Minister of Social Solidarity, Maya Morsi, holds talks with UK officials on urgent Gaza aid delivery. And that's all for now. Remember to stay updated by following Q News for the latest developments.